my gosh. Okay.
Yep.
Episode 37. I have Ketch with Ketch Johnson Productions with me.
Yep.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
Welcome. Well, I'm glad to be here.
Good. I'm so excited. I'm excited just because I've never interacted with you yet.
Yeah.
Or, we've never crossed paths. And I think this is just a way for, how long have you owned your business now?
Owned. I don't know. I probably got really invested after high school. So let's just say, I want to say like 6 years.
Okay.
But my business has shifted in niches throughout the years. So like I would say owning real estate production, like where I'm at now, has been almost 2 years.
Okay.
So.
Because you're not from here.
Nope.
I'm going to kind of get into, where are you from then?
So I was born and raised in Maui.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's why you brought up Hawaii earlier.
Oh, did I?
Yeah. Well, I think you were talking with Darrow, and so it was
gotcha.
like, Hawaii, what?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then high school, you went throughout school
Yep.
all in Hawaii?
Yep.
And you started your production idea there?
Mm-hmm.
What made you kind of get into production?
It's always a fun question. I mean, that's funny because that was kind of the thought I had going into this. Was like, she's probably going to ask why I got into this.
It's like the first question.
Oh yeah, it's probably the most important, right? Like, why are you doing this?
Kind of.
But yeah, so I guess growing up in Hawaii, I had a huge passion for the ocean, and so whatever we were doing after school, it was us doing something that involved the ocean, whether it was jumping off cliffs into the water or diving. I grew up with a background of my dad teaching us how to spearfish and dive, all these
cool.
wonderful, really cool experiences with the
That's
ocean.
so cool.
Yeah, it was amazing. And so, like in high school, I loved just surfing and being inside the waves. Something about the very form of a wave was really intriguing to me. So, like, if you've ever seen in videos, people are actually in the barrel, and it just looks crazy. And so
the Disney movie, Surf's Up. What was that one?
Oh, Surf's Up's like my #1 movie.
Ideal.
I love that movie.
Oh shoot, what's the one with the girl with the shark?
Girl with the shark. Is it Moana? I'm trying to think of.
No, she got her arm bit off.
Oh, Soul Surfer. I think it might be Soul Surfer.
That really went really deep, really quick.
I was like, wait a minute, we're talking Disney, so
no, let's do the Disney movie.
Yeah,
that one.
Surf's
that
Up.
was a good one. Surf's Up.
But yeah, so I really got into taking pictures of those waves.
Yeah.
And then it spiraled, and I'll try to keep this short, but it spiraled into all kinds of things. My buddies just loved being in the front of the camera. And so all throughout high school, it was like, hey, let's just go do a crazy adventure and let's film it. And so, like, if you were to scroll through my Instagram and just go to the very bottom, it's got all of our adventures from beginning to time until now.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah. And so those are my cherished memories. That's where it all started with
the fire got lit.
Yeah, I didn't even care about cameras. I just cared more about the story that came from actually having a camera.
You didn't know anything much about cameras?
I had no idea. I just had a GoPro.
So cool.
I literally just would click the button and it would do everything for me at the time. So I didn't really have a knowledge. I was just like, hey, film it, and then I would go home and I would edit it.
Oh,
and
cool.
So, yeah, those videos are that's where I all kind of got started.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's where I got involved in everything, and then from there, there's that story can continue.
Like you said, you went kind of niche to niche.
Correct.
And I guess, when did you come to the Valley then?
My wife and I moved here probably, I almost want to say like almost 3 years now.
Okay.
2021. Actually, no.
2?
Let's see, it's 5.
Wait, it is 25.
So 2023, I think we moved here.
Got it.
Right around there.
Yeah. And before you moved here, did you start the real estate, pictures? Nothing?
Not much in Hawaii. I dabbled in it. I got pushed into the world of weddings, and so I was really pushing, because that's where I thought it was the most lucrative business at the time. And so that's all I did. So we filmed everything under weddings, and it was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I met all these cool mentors that taught me a ton of stuff that I still take throughout my life and use it today. And so, but weddings were great, but they were also really stressful.
Yes, we could swap wedding stories for sure.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure we can.
But I would say, I just think for the production part of it, is that pictures and video?
In weddings, I specifically specialize in video. That's all I did.
That's all you did.
So I had a team that I hired. They were my second shooters.
Oh, wow.
Third shooters, and we totally had an established business that was just thriving. And it was really, really fun at the age, to be 20, in your 20s, and having a bunch of other 20-year-olds.
Oh my gosh, I had no clue what I wanted to do at 20, but...
Well, that's all I knew at the time, so
sure.
let's run with it.
You ran with it. And
yeah.
Can I ask a really dumb question?
Yeah.
What brought you here? Here of all places.
If I'm being purely honest, I would want to say it's God's plan over our plan. So
Oh.
we totally felt like my wife and I were, it just was a never-ending feeling that we had to leave the island for
Yeah.
some reason. I didn't know why. It was probably the hardest faith over fear situation because so much of my personality and my love for the islands just pours out of me on a daily basis just because I grew up there and
Right.
love that culture. But it wasn't until like we left the islands and kind of went towards that faith factor and landed in, I think we landed in Utah to visit my wife's family. We didn't want to be there. We didn't feel like we were supposed to be there.
Sure.
And all my family is originally from Lewiston. Well, not originally, but they were in
Okay,
Lewiston.
that makes sense. Because I'm like, how'd you get here?
How did we get here?
Here. What brought you here?
Yeah, family landed in Lewiston. We kind of followed family.
I see.
But it wasn't like until a year later did we see the fires hit Hawaii.
Yeah.
And burn down
Oh my gosh.
the west side. And so we would have lost our home and everything that was there. So God's plan was totally involved in that scenario.
Oh my gosh, I just got like a chill. That's why you lived right there.
Yeah, no, we were totally in the town. We were in the town of Lahaina. That's where I grew up. And so, like, my wife and I were renting an apartment that was totally, like, the most stellar situation we could have been in. And we just picked up everything. We sold the entire apartment furnished and just took 8 suitcases and landed in Lewiston.
Oh my gosh, that's shocking.
Yeah.
I did that, like, that's more, because I'm kind of a signs person,
Uh-huh.
or like, if something's there and you can't ignore it.
Uh-huh.
I've said this a few times on here, but that's crazy.
Oh, yeah. No, it's amazing. And the story doesn't end. I mean, of course, that's how I found this business.
Yeah.
And
Where you're at now.
we're seeing the blessings of why we've chosen this opportunity to move here.
That's why I was like, when you came here, or ended up here,
Uh-huh.
it's like, Lewiston's not very well known. So I was like, you have
That's true.
family, or,
Yeah.
you know, that, and your family, you said, right?
Yep, my side of the family.
Got it.
Mhm.
And how has it been so far?
We've loved it. I mean,
Good.
it's one of those things that we have a love for the country. I grew up in the country. Like every summer, we'd visit Joseph, Oregon.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
That's kind of really home base for my family.
Oh, fun.
And so, like, every year they would come and sail. They'd take boats and they'd do boat trips down. I think it's Snake River.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Snake River.
Oh, fun. Oh, how
So,
cool.
yeah.
I mean, you get a little bit, no waves by any means.
But there's water. That's
There's
all that
water.
matters.
And there's hills and there's mountains. And we have snow today.
That is true.
In town. Do you like the snow?
I do actually. I don't mind
Okay.
the snow.
Okay, cool.
It's a nice addition to sometimes when it's a little bland.
I'm a winter girl. And I just feel like here in town, it's like, I don't know. When snow hits, it's like, oh, this is winter. When it's here and there's no snow and it's winter,
Uh-huh.
it's like, ugh, it's dreary and
That is
terrible.
That is true.
So I like that it's finally hit us. But I think too with like your production stuff, I'm just so curious
Mhm.
from like what guided you or what you didn't want to do weddings anymore, or
Right.
I mean, our area is very unique. Sorry,
No, you're
I
okay.
tickled my throat.
That's why we have water, right?
Now I'm like, oh. Our area is very unique in terms of like kind of being behind the times, different niches or different things that are thriving.
Right.
I wouldn't say weddings aren't thriving, but it's very much not as a huge production as it would be in like a city
Right.
or
in,
Maui.
yeah, a destination area where people really come out from somewhere
Oh
to,
yes.
to get married.
You can be busy every single day of the week if you
Yeah.
wanted to.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
Now, I'm just kind of like, how did the real estate or how did that start?
I think what's so cool, I guess maybe what I'll add is like being in this industry, one of my favorite things of why people ask me, why do you do it? And I say it's opportunity. Because every time I've done this niche of work, there's always been opportunity. So when I first got here, I was still filming for clients based out of Hawaii on all different kinds of projects.
Really?
And so we were, I've done so many weird ordeals where I've climbed into old volcanoes and have filmed skits in volcanoes, and climbed to the cliffs of waterfalls or where famous surf breaks are filmed in Hawaii. And then out here, there's just always opportunity. And so I think what I was going to do, I was going to put everything on the shelf when it came to filmmaking when I moved out here, because I was overwhelmed with the idea of doing weddings here because I didn't feel like it was going to be as much of a fruitful scenario.
Yes, I absolutely agree.
Yeah, it was so discouraging. I was like, this is the worst. I was like, at least in the area, I was like, I'm now don't have, I was like, I'm lacking purpose. And I guess for my state of point in that time, I was like, really feeling the drive to continue to find that purpose.
Yeah. A spark.
But like I said, opportunity is awesome. So we were looking at properties, and we ran into Nick Pace, if you know Nick.
Yes.
And just somehow we got in the conversation of photography, and just like, hey, like, oh, I have a background in photography, but not real estate as much. But I still did a little bit. But anyways, he somehow kind of shared that with the team, and they took interest in me. And from there, it was kind of like a sprout of opportunity where they gave me one opportunity on a house, and then from there it was another house and then another house. And now I was like, oh, I love this. Like, this is way cooler and way better than weddings.
I like, though, now I know which ones are your productions.
Yeah.
You know, it's something that's been kind of happening in town a little bit before you got here, kind of more, I don't know, dabbled and here and there. But now it's like, I feel like you like have spurted that realm of it, like firing. And now it's like, it's so cool that I can see all your guys' works and different realtors now reaching out to you.
Right.
So I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
And I just, like you said, like that spark and how to take that opportunity. And now you've created your own.
Loved it. Yeah.
That's
now we've
great.
got a thriving, the business of creating. That's probably my personality. I just love creating something. So the fact that we're still creating.
You're an ideas man.
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes I don't follow through with all my ideas, but the ones that stick out to me the most, we do.
Wait. Do you have a notebook by the side of your bed? And like, if you're deep sleep,
Oh, I've had moments like that where I'm like, oh my gosh, write
it down.
Yep.
Oh, see, I always am like in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm going to remember this. I never do. So I probably should keep like a little notebook.
Usually, yeah,
the bed.
That's a good idea too. I'm always thinking about someone's project and how can we improve it.
Yeah.
At 1 a.m. thought kicks in, you're like, oh, I need to write that down.
That's so cool. Oh, I love that. What's the, how do I word, what's the coolest clip you've made so far in the, like, is there a specific house?
There's
or
a
a
handful of
specific
houses.
like bit?
A bit. I definitely have done really cool stuff. Chelsea Blewett is, I think that's how you say Chelsea's last name.
Blewett, yeah.
Blewett.
Mm-hmm.
She's been someone who's been willing to get in a pool or do something crazy of that nature. So those stick out a lot because she's been willing to go the extra mile with my creative random ideas.
Yeah.
Usually it's like we're on the scene. We're like, how can we make this look good? And all of a sudden we're like, oh my gosh, like get in the pool. And, you know,
that was her parents' house, wasn't it?
That was her parents' house.
Oh, that's so.
And there was like a hole in the floaty. So like it was sinking.
Shoot. Oh, I love that. Need some behind the scenes footage of that. That's awesome.
We have lots of fun
I bet.
stories. But
I just, with like some of her listings too, like with the drawer and the Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
And like the dancing with the song. Those are fun because they just catch your eye.
Right.
And I think like besides like the video itself and like people think it's just one shot and done. And Darrow can probably attest to this too, that it's like editing of like lighting. You have to make sure this lamp is on, or you have to make sure the sound, like our voices aren't too loud, or you know what I mean? So I guess what is something that you feel like should like let people know, like how much, like what is the, I don't know. I have so many questions in my head. Does this make sense?
Yeah. So like,
don't think I structured it very good.
No, it's okay. Maybe like, so are you thinking like, how can they gain appreciation or an understanding of really all that we do?
Yeah. Like something that you, like they would never think that it's like in the back of your mind.
Oh my goodness.
About.
I don't even know where to start on that one.
It's a lot.
Because most people are like, oh, just take your phone, snap a photo.
Yeah.
Or, I can record it on my phone. Everyone's a filmmaker at some point, right?
Yeah.
Because they've got their camera on their phone.
Right.
But most people don't understand the science the science behind everything that's involved between the industry of filmmaking. Sound design alone, people make careers just off of being a sound guy because there's so much important pieces that create a final film. But just to name a few, I mean, specifically with like Chelsea's video that we did with her dancing, like that, the planning process alone requires a lot of work and time to be able to nail it, because we've winged a lot of videos, and they're fun and they're kind of quicker to do, but you don't get the results you're looking for. But if someone knew how much, the computers that you need to have to be able to run the type of quality of work that we're trying to deliver is huge within itself. And so you're investing not only in camera gear that costs thousands, but computer equipment that also costs thousands, and then you've just got this
Gigabytes and
Yes.
millibytes and what was it?
gigabytes,
Gigabytes.
kilobytes, yeah, all those kind of things. But just for example, I guess one thing that's really crazy that people don't understand is most filmmakers will shoot in what's called a flat log footage. So everything's pretty much like a very neutral base.
I was going to say, does Darren know what that is?
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, when I was learning, I was like, this is miserable. Like, I just did not like learning it because you shoot in a very neutral profile picture. Because then in the realm of what we call color grading, then we go in there and we scientifically put everything put back together with colors. You have way more of a range of opportunity to manipulate an image to create a style of your own.
Got it.
But I could probably sit here for a long time.
We could like structurally go through
yeah,
it.
talk about that all goes into it. But yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Is there a time of day you like prefer?
I always love
shoot.
sunset.
Yeah.
Like I would, if I could,
Golden hour.
Golden hour will always be that time of day where everything feels so beautiful and just peaceful and pretty. And so like, I wish we could film at sunset every single day.
I like your videos too with like a house that you do multiple of like during the day and then you do like a snippet or a drone of golden hour. And I think like that's really cool seeing it in like the different times of day.
Yeah, because most people just don't, they see more of the house and what the house has to offer even at nighttime because, we've seen houses at night that are just way more beautiful and inviting than what high noon would look like.
Yeah.
And so now we're involving like, let's say we shoot the front of the house at noon and then we go back and shoot the house at sunset and then it transitions from day to night. And those are my favorite because it's
cool.
like the wow factor is really,
yeah,
really cool.
Comes to life, I feel, with all the lights on and just, I don't know. It looks, it catches my eye, which makes me then want to finish the video,
Yep.
It's like with these, it's hard because we have one camera and it's like,
Right.
yeah, but I think what people don't understand is how much more it is than just clicking the record button.
Yeah, well, the editing alone, if someone were to sit down and just watch someone edit a video and look at all the different buttons and controls and everything under the sun you can think of, that within itself just is very overwhelming.
Ugh.
So,
Does it matter, the camera?
nope. It's always the person who tells the story. You could have the worst camera. As long as you can see what's happening and you tell a good story, you can really achieve something great. A camera's a bonus because it creates great quality, but if someone's lacking the vision and the story behind it, then you really won't achieve what you're looking for when it comes to it.
Even you can have like $1 million camera and still
Exactly.
make nothing
Yep.
worse. Oh,
It's
that's
always
good.
it's always the filmmaker. You've got to really study the person you're going to hire for the job.
Oh, that's
because
cool.
you see how they show up. You see kind of where their confidence stands between the production, and that they're there more than just like, hey, I've got all this equipment, but it's like, oh, I've got the vision to tell. See, I'm getting goosebumps telling about it because it's like, love that. Yeah.
See, if he gets on like a tangent, like whatever you guys were talking about with the giga
Storage
wigga,
drives, so-
yeah, I'm just like, I don't know what you guys are saying, but you guys are like into it, and you can tell it's just like such a. I wouldn't say it's a niche. I wouldn't say it's a hobby or it's a career. It's like it's who you are.
Yeah, it's a huge part of my life. It's
Yeah.
just a lifestyle.
Oh,
Most
that's
people know
cool.
me for just cameras.
I'd be curious to see like through your eyes, like what you like see all the time.
Even today, like driving with the snow, I was like, I just wish I could just film all day and capture all these
Cool.
beautiful things.
How many cameras do you have?
Mm.
Well, okay, wait.
Yeah.
If you're heading into a set, you bringing everything, drone, is that separate?
Yeah, that counts as a camera. But yeah, drones.
Okay. How many then do you bring?
I would say I have 3 cameras. And so I have like my main, so I have one camera that's specifically established for photos, and then I have my video camera.
Okay.
They're both special in their different areas.
Mm-hmm.
And then drones, just that cherry on top with opportunity to make a house look great, or just any type of film. And that's really all I need. Like when I was doing weddings, we had like 6 or 7 cameras. We had multiple angles. We had multiple shooters. There's so much more moving parts. That's why I love real estate, because houses don't talk back to you. That's one thing.
It's very
Not to be
true.
rude.
No, it's
But,
very
like, the
true.
houses are pretty quiet. They're not loud and mad in your face, And so, or they don't blink. That's another thing, is you don't have to worry about not missing the
Or
shot.
they're the ones that aren't doing the retakes over and over again.
Yeah, so
That's me.
it's nice because it gives me time to be able to get to a property and be like, okay, I can take the time to evaluate something and then approach it in the way I'd like to.
Cool. Well, and you're a one-man show, right?
Right now, yeah.
Okay.
Show.
Is there a goal for like a big team or something?
I've always thought about that. You know, I would love to, I think I'm at that point where I feel like I have the knowledge to establish a team and
cool.
build out to a bigger perspective. Because I would love, I mean, I have my whole vision of where I want to be. And of course, my dream is to film luxury real estate, which Lewiston doesn't have, which is fine, because this is where we're learning the most. Like, if you can make it an older home that's $300,000 look fun to watch, then you can approach a $12 million house and really make an impression on somebody.
For sure.
And so, like, here it's been great because, man, I get so many of these challenges where I'm like, oh my gosh, the lighting in this place is horrendous, or the wallpaper needs to go, or the stories go on, you know. But so I've kind of been in that trial area where I'm learning to make a home that's not super fancy still be really engaging and fun to watch.
What's your schedule like? I mean, isn't like it's your time, you get to book. Do you try to make it to where you're only like during the day? I mean, I bet editing itself takes.
That does take time.
I don't even know.
It does definitely take time. There's some days where, I mean, I've had videos take me 12 hours to finish, but that's just because I'm either learning something new and I'm running into hiccups. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, you just never know.
Yeah.
But my schedule is never the same. Every day it's like, you have one shoot, you have 5 shoots. And, you know, some days that one shoot can take all day, and those 5 shoots you can be done by 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Really just depends. But I'm usually at my shoots by 9, and I'm usually wrapped up by 4 o'clock unless someone's like, hey, let's do nighttime.
Yeah. Specific look or specific shoots.
Some properties just deserve a lot more attention than others because there's a lot more going into it.
So for the camera to picture, what's your kind of like percentage right now, like per house of like, are you doing just, I don't know, it's hard to say. Do you do just picture, or are you just doing video?
Well, that's kind of been the thing. Right now, when I first started, it was photos, and only photos. Just because I have a video background, but wedding videography didn't really kind of blend well with real estate because it was all different. Right. And so I had to learn. Right now, like this year, I've just really pushed myself into a whole bunch of academies, a bunch of coaches, a lot of people who are in the same area, and my brain's just like, okay, I'm finally getting it. Like, it's another realm of niche that I'm really enjoying. Oh, cool. And so I remember like watching videos at the beginning of last year, and I'll wrap back around to your question, but always just being like, I don't love it. You know, maybe they love it, and that's great because they haven't seen that style, but I know I could do better. And so every time I would deliver a video, I'd have my wife was my biggest cheerleader, because I'm like, does this look good? Like, I don't know. Like, I've watched this 90 times now. I'm so burnt out. Does this look good? And she's like, the biggest thing, she's like, you have to be able to find a way to love your work and not rely on the outer opinion on whether it's good or not. And of course it's huge, but like, I want to be able to find a way to fall in love with my work. And I'm just now at that point where I am. Oh, wow. It's really cool. Cause last year I was just so many times just like, oh, it's not there.
Second guessing or questioning. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, but photos was first. Now we're really involving video because there's so much value for an agent and a seller to have, we bring to the table so much more of a quality production for someone's home than just the standard take a picture. Oh yeah.
Well, and I think just like technology and where like the internet is and the trends of just like the reels and the quick bits, especially if we're getting people from out of town that, sight unseen buying, they want to be able to see it in its true form. Right. I mean, it's just part of the way that the technology is going. Yeah. And I feel like this is where we're at.
Yeah, no, it is. And it's a blessing and a curse. Some agents love it. Some agents are like, oh my gosh, like, not there love yet. The old ways, Yeah. And I get that. I mean, it's always hard to feel like you have to grow. But the agents who are involving this type of content into their daily workflow are seeing results that are just, it's working. And
crazy difference.
Yeah. My goal is to help you build a brand and help you really stand out. Yeah. And I mean, everyone wants to do that anywhere.
Yeah. But for anybody, like, they can reach out, ask questions, right? Or do you give them like, how do I question this? Do you give them kind of they don't know what they want? Like for like, maybe they're selling a house. Like, do you give out then pointers, tidbits, ideas?
So now I've established what's called like the blueprint to to a successful listing.
Nice.
And so most agents get that photos is huge, and I get that because, like, you know, we want to make every house look the way they deserve to look and to show its best light. But now my biggest focus is to help an agent build their own brand, to find the right people that they want to work with. And so I guess maybe to help answer that, what was the question again? maybe you don't remember the question.
I don't know. I just kind of spitballed it. Like, if they came into you and was like, I don't know what I want or need, I've never dealt with any of this, like, do you give them kind of like a questionnaire? Like,
gotcha.
You know, something that maybe you need to get a little feel of like who they are?
Yeah.
Or is it just like, let's start from scratch?
You
go from there.
Right. Okay, now that makes sense.
Does that make sense?
Going back to it, I forgot.
I feel like most of my questions just get kind of jumbled in my brain.
No, that makes total sense.
Okay, good.
Because I think I like one-on-one relationships with agents. Like, I totally have met people that really resonate with me, and we can totally, like, those are the best relationships because we just skyrocket in business.
Long-term, I feel like, too. Long-term relationships.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're in every niche. I've got people that I just love to death that I've worked with, and they will always be my people. Because they're my people. They just work so well. But usually I'll work with a one-on-one agent, and I'll hop on a call, and I really want to break down. If you've never done it before, my goal is to really try to help you see, okay, this is why. I'm here to educate so that you feel like you know what you're doing and that the investment on that process makes sense.
Yes.
Because I want to create results, not just something that's like,
right.
I did a cool video.
Do a video, but then the house maybe sits for a year. You know, it's like, what's the end goal? How can we get this to go faster?
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Now let's talk legal stuff.
Okay.
I feel like just because real estate it's very much strict in terms of rules, regulations.
Right.
Pictures, I know you have to have very similar types of guidelines, right? In terms of
for like a listing photo, or for like a listing. I would think so. I think the biggest legalities I ran into is specifically flying drones commercially.
Yeah.
Because you can't just hop on. I mean, most people do it anyways, but it does put those who've gotten licenses in a tough scenario because it just adds more restrictions. But like, I would say the biggest legalities we run into is like, hey, can we fly in this flight area? Is this okay place to be? Are we going to run into air traffic of some sort?
Yeah.
And so when I went through the course of getting my FFA license to be able to fly commercially, I hated it. I felt like
drag.
Yeah, it really was. I felt like I was really ready to fly a plane after I finished. Never ever been in a plane, but I was like, I think I know what to do.
That's awesome. That's so good.
But yeah, those are huge. That's probably where most of the times we run into scenarios where
I was gonna, because I mean that for sure. I've had a droneographer, but he does a little real estate stuff here and there, but a lot of his stuff was like mountains and huge areas shots and acreage, and so it's like, I don't know, especially in town, you want to make sure that you're doing things legally correctly,
right?
Because in this little town, I don't know,
word spreads fast sometimes.
It does.
Ketch flew that drone into someone's car. It's like, that guy's the worst of the pilot.
So like the luxury idea though, I feel, is there like, I don't know, is there a house in town that you would just, even if it's not on the market, just would love to shoot?
That's a good question. I feel like it sounds so funny because we're always looking to grow more. And like in this industry, no matter what, there's no cap to your growth. Like you will forever grow. And I feel like photos I've thoroughly have loved. But that's not as much as my passion as video work is. And so more of like my fulfillment in a day is if I've done a video and I've done really good. In a house, oh man, I've yet to really, we filmed some really nice homes in Lewiston.
Oh yeah.
Some that haven't even really come on the market yet that I'm waiting for because they're just
okay. That I'm leading into that question.
Okay.
We'll dabble that, but I mean, just like I know several houses here. I mean, maybe because you haven't been here a few years.
Yeah.
But like knowing every area or every neighborhood.
Right.
Like the houses up here in Normal Hill, those just big, very Daryl's not even paying attention. Historical houses.
Yeah, you kind of have that
charm.
Yep.
There's that house. Oh my gosh, I can't even think. I don't know a street address. Oh gosh, Daryl's no help. They dress it up as like a scary haunted house.
Oh, cool.
In like, do you know what I'm talking about, Daryl? Southway Pizzeria. cemetery. Big house on the corner. Used to be a haunted house.
Yep. I don't know that one.
Oh my gosh. It's crazy cool, like, because it's like well known that it's like a haunted house. I don't know if they still do it. They did it when we were kids. That's why I was like, no?
No, I was an Origins kid.
Well, me. But then it's like you drive down that neighborhood and it's like that house. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to pick it out because it's just this decor. But
Right.
there's certain houses that I feel like are really cool. Not on the, never maybe will ever be for sale, but I don't know. Maybe there's like a dream house where you're like, oh, that would be so cool to shoot.
Yeah.
Top of the Lewiston Hill.
That would be another place that I think is really
That
cool.
would be really
I think
cool.
location plays a huge role. And so, like, I think of Waha, like, if someone had a really crazy home in Waha. I mean, I've done, like, Kamiah, there's been some cool homes. Or even, like, way deep into Whitebird in Grangeville. I've
Ooh,
done.
far.
And so, yeah, I've gone pretty far for work. And because I really have met people out there that I admire a lot, you know, and they're so much fun to work with. And so, I feel like the majority of those high-end homes sneak out there. I mean, we've done, I think, $2.5 million cabins with airplane strips that, and you know, those are really cool. And if I had the knowledge I had now, I would have approached those projects so much more differently.
I'm sure though, even if you said that, like in 5 years,
That is true.
you're going to say the same, like
Yeah.
because you, like you said, it's always growth. There's
Yep.
always something.
Yeah.
Or maybe the trends will change, but I just, I'm like, it's so cool because it's such a versatile, like you can just morph into whatever's happening
Yeah.
in terms of like the trends and like
Right.
like, I don't know how you feel about reels and,
Oh, that's a huge part of the business.
oh yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm just like how you would probably know this, dear, like taking it from whatever lens to
Like horizontal to vertical.
Yeah.
Huge shift. And I think we're going to continue to see shifts in the future of what's trending and what's different because, you know, the way of the world kind of goes with what's trending, sadly.
Yeah, I know.
So like we had to ditch the horizontal ratio of a film. Now it's vertical, which is fine because I think it's cool. It fits all social platforms.
Yes.
Most people get way more results. They will totally get more results vertically.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy because the moment you post on Instagram with a vertical reel, it has the opportunity to meet people you've never met. And
Yeah.
if it does well, then that's always the goal.
Wow.
But
You have an Instagram.
I do.
Is it Ketch Johnson
Yep.
Production?
It's actually just Ketch Johnson.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I had a Ketch Johnson Productions page, and then for some reason I got locked out of it. And so I'm
Oh,
forever,
no.
and that name is now stuck there forever until it gets deleted.
Oh, shoot.
So it is what it
It's
is.
been used.
Yeah.
It's by me.
But yeah, my
That's
main
funny.
page is still more of like, I like to integrate a lot of to involve my life with what I do because,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I said, what I do is just a lot of my personality. 'Cause
Sure.
People know me by what I do, and so it's fun to involve my creative projects involved with also
Yeah.
real estate.
I feel like too, do you sign NDAs? NDAs, non-disclosure agreements. Do you know what those are?
Like
The only reason why I'm asking that is
Yeah.
because you get the inside first look at these houses that aren't even live yet.
Gotcha.
And you get that secret of like, ooh, I know this listing that's coming up. You just like realtors,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
But it's that like, do you have to have like that, you can't tell anybody secret?
usually it's like the honors code. So,
Yeah.
you know, most agents are like, hey, we don't want to have this talked about or shared, especially like online or anything, unless we do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, absolutely.
Well,
Like, I
even
don't-
if it's not even active.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
true.
That's why I was like, is there
That's-
a document that you sign? Because it's,
I don't sign anything for the most part.
You're just
It's-
like,
yep, I'm
Scouts
all right,
honor.
I won't do it, you know. And that's, I mean, there is a property that I'm just like, I'm waiting for it to come on, and I just loved the
oh,
photos.
that's so
It was-
cool.
so that's
Oh, what is
some-
like a neat secret?
Yeah, it's kind of cool. And then you really do get all these experiences where you're like, you get the first look
Mm-hmm.
on a property, and you get to kind of see, oh, you know, this is what I want in a house. I don't really ever want a 2-story home because
Mm-hmm.
I just get so tired of stairs. Even at age 25, I'm like, I'm over it. You
What's
know?
do you have a balancing thing?
Like a stabilizer?
Is that, yeah.
I have that. Yeah, I use that for all the video. It stabilizes the camera really well, and that's huge.
I'd love to see some blooper edits of you. Like, do you hit the wall and go, oops?
Oh, Chelsea could probably tell you so many stories of me falling over something or backing into a wall, or even like with the
That would be
unlocked real
fun.
estate. I fell over. I think I was accidentally stepping through bushes that I wasn't. I was so focused on them.
You were in the yard.
plowing through their yard. I was like, I'm so sorry.
See, I just think that those are more, this is fun. And And part of your personality, like, this is my lifestyle and this is my job, but
Yeah.
it's like, it's got its fun sides.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, there's so many fun sides. That's no day is the same. And that's
Yeah.
what I live for is like one day I'm in town, one day I'm in Whitebird, the
Yeah.
other day I'm in Moscow.
What's the farthest then you've gone out? Skirts.
Probably the furthest I've gone is like deep into Whitebird.
Okay, yeah.
But
Pretty far.
I aspired to at one point travel to Sandpoint or Coeur d'Alene and really try to, that's my dream. And
That's
most people may not
sweet.
like that idea because I do want to get involved in like, I want to get involved in really like your high-end luxury
Mm-hmm.
listings just because that's where my passion I feel is calling me. I don't want to be comfortable with just filming and photographing.
If you want to do growth, and like, I mean, here, we're just a small but not small town.
Yeah.
Behind the times, always. But just, I feel like in terms of you, like, if you can do the whole state, like, you just can't be tethered. You don't want to be tethered.
And that's where you build a team. And
Yes.
that's one big hurdle that I'm just like, okay, I know at some point I'll need to do because I want the people I work with to know how much I have a love for what I do and these people that I work with and how we can kind of replicate that so they feel like they're getting still the great work that they do.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, but it's really cool. I got a gentleman who I spoke with just the other day who he lives in Canada and he lives in a very small town. I'm going to say similar to almost Lewiston.
Okay.
You know, it has a Costco, he said. Because he was like, how big is Lewiston? I was like, well, Clarkston has a Costco. And he's like, well, okay.
We have a costume.
You know, but he's like, I've started out in your same shoes. You know, I've worked with really smaller homes and smaller bracket of homes. And now he's like, now I travel the world.
Oh.
And he does. It's so cool. His name's Eric. And this
Wow.
guy's all over Florida, you know, all over the different countries and just filming the
Everything.
elite houses that are just really cool to film.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
See, because like us, we're kind of tethered to per state
Yeah.
of where we get to embark. And even if maybe, like, I'm a loan officer here in town, but
Right.
it's like I don't know the housing market like it is in Coeur d'Alene and all
Right.
that. And so it's just, you have, though, that luxury to just,
Yeah, kind of run around.
yeah, anybody can hire you.
But I do have people depending on me here, so it's like, how can you
It's
maintain
true.
the
You can't be in
availability?
two places at once.
That is
but-
true. So it's something I'm figuring out, but I do
That's
see
cool.
myself here for a while.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like, too, with our town, like, we have all these small towns, outskirts.
Yeah.
We can't forget about them, but they're there.
There's a ton of them.
I'm from one of them, so it's like, I claim that.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you suggest to someone wanting to sell their house that you would like say, like, oh, top priority, make this happen or look good or
Yeah.
done before filming and production and pictures are taken?
Absolutely. I would encourage every seller who's thinking of putting their home on the market, whether it's 200,000, whether it's 500, or you're into $1 million range, that you take the time to present a home that's ready to be on the market, because you'll come to find out there's a lot more people who will judge a home by what's all over the place, you know. And I get it. Our circumstances are all different. We have families,
Sure.
we have people we love, you know. It may be different. Our life's crazy. you know.
Yeah.
And so trying to make a house look like it's not lived in is a skill within itself. That's why agents are here, and that's why we're here to kind of help push
Yeah.
the opportunity. But that makes all the difference. You know, I've been in homes that even that are small and really cute and well done, you know, when they're totally, what's the word? I want to just say decorated and established, or there's a word, but I can't think of it. But
Aesthetic.
yeah,
Maybe?
they take the time to stage it. There
Yes,
it is.
stage it, yeah,
It
yeah,
just
yeah.
totally makes the presentation. You'll be so stoked at the end of the day when you get to look at your house and be like, oh my gosh, like these look wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
My towel's not on the floor, or my dog bed's not there, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So-
Or I've been in houses, like an antique store is like the best way I can describe it. Like, you go in and there's so much stuff, which is beautiful. It's their item, you know, that they've collected or, you know, owned.
Yeah.
And I've had it to where it's like, I'll walk through a room and then I'll walk through it again and I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't see that before. And it's just like, there's so much in it
Yeah,
that it could
absolutely.
distract you from the actual home itself, not the stuff inside.
Right. Yeah, there's little things that we do that most people are like, oh, like, that's new, I didn't see that. Like, we'll pick up, like, your floor mats, because we want people to focus on the flooring, and that's just one less thing they have to look at.
Toilet seat.
Oh, please close the
I
toilet
feel
seat.
like that now that I've gone to open houses, or just, it's like the toilet seat is on the list. Make sure that that's down. It's just like, oh, that's so
man.
funny. It's just me being on my end of it. I
Oh, yeah.
don't ever would have ever thought that was something that would be important.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things where it's like always keep it closed. I mean, it's within everybody's standards, close the toilet seat. And I've had days where I've shot a property like in the very beginning where I've left the toilet seat open, and I'm just like, I'm so glad you rehired me. Like, I'll never leave
It's
that
haunting
toilet.
me.
Yeah, it's like toilet seat down.
Oh, that's awesome. I just, for your business to grow and coming on here and being able to like promote you and say anybody can hire you. Could I hire? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
What is it doesn't have to just be houses, can it? Or
For the most part, yeah. So like every creator, I want to say, photographer, filmmaker, will have a niche of some sort that they're passionate about. And usually if they're passionate about it enough, they'll have a lot of knowledge that's there to back up what they're doing. And so I wouldn't say that I'm like a freelance photographer or filmmaker, so I don't
Okay.
shoot everything.
Yeah.
I really try to stay specifically within the realm of real estate.
okay,
But that doesn't mean if you have a brand new commercial site that you just built for
yeah,
$5 million for some company that a contractor wouldn't want to hire me to go out there and photograph it and show off
yeah,
this build so that they can then bring that portfolio to other people.
very cool.
Or even rentals. Sometimes, property managers will be like, hey, Ketch, like we have a new rental that's really nice. Can we photograph that? So agents are my big area of work that I work
Referral
with.
base.
Yep. But there's still a lot of people who have homes. Like I just did a resort, the Salmon River Resort up in Whitebird last month.
Ooh.
And so yeah, it was really cool. I was like, I wasn't doing real estate or I wasn't selling this place, but
That's
showing
neat.
off their business was really fun.
Yeah, very cool. And the same thing with mine. Realtors are really my biggest referral base.
Right.
And I'm trying to then now find ways that I've gotten a couple that aren't just realtors, which is great.
Yeah.
But they're always like, that's our biggest source,
Yeah.
I would say. So I like though that you can, that niche though.
Yeah,
This
it's a fun niche. There's like I said, there's just opportunity everywhere. You meet all these people who have really cool ideas and what they've learned. So I learn a lot from these agents because they're constantly involved in real estate. And
Yes,
that's really
they
cool.
know.
Yeah.
I'm not a vision person at all. If you give me an idea of like on Pinterest or like, oh, this is my idea,
Uh-huh.
or we'll go into a house, or no, you know what it is if I was literally, this was one of my best friends. They were building their house and we're standing on the foundation and she's like, this is the bedroom and there's no walls. And I'm just like, I don't understand.
Yeah, it's an empty place.
Yeah, she's like, this is the bathroom. And I go, this? And she's like, no, this space. And I'm like, I can't see it. How tall are your ceilings? I don't understand. So at least though, I feel like you'd have to have some sort of eye for that.
Yeah.
I can't know. I can pick up a camera. Darrow, again, you two could probably talk. What's your niche, Darrow?
I'm good at almost getting everything done.
That is a complete lie. Because in terms of like just video, creating pictures, marketing,
Yeah.
I don't know, marketing in itself.
Oh my goodness.
That's
It's
the whole
exhausting.
thing.
Yeah.
How do you market yourself then?
Oh, that's a fun question. I feel like that's most people are like, oh, I want to be a photographer, I want to be a filmmaker. But if you want to make it to be able to make it something you can thrive off of as an income, you've got to work really hard. And so I've done all kinds of marketing throughout my time. But what's worked most is really getting in front of someone and really showing up for them and letting them resonate with your personality. Because I've done business cards, I've gone and I used to go, when I first got here, I mapped out every brokerage under the sun. And I remember just like putting a huge list. And then one day when work was super slow, I would just go and visit these people. And it was awesome. I would deliver treats and I had brochures and I had all these cards and it worked. It was so cool because I remember that worked the most. I went through every brokerage here and I remember this is slow. I don't know if it's going to work. And then like the first set of last spring hit and it was like the most booked I've ever been. And I was just like, oh, it works. It's amazing. Like all that hard work of really being scared and doing presentations work. So now I don't market as much as I do, like mostly on my social media page
Sure.
where people who are usually coming back can see what I'm doing next.
Yeah.
And then, word of mouth is huge too.
Yeah,
So,
for sure. Oh, that's exciting. Well, now I know word of mouth. If anybody needs, I'm looking at the camera in that third person. If anybody needs anything recorded, shot, filmed, you're the guy.
yeah.
Yeah. I would like to see though, it grow or like timeline. You probably don't. There's no actual map of like, oh yeah, I see myself doing this in a year. You know.
Are you saying like?
I mean, do you have goals that are something you'd want to share? Like besides like growing a team, is there any other goals?
Yeah. No, I guess my biggest thing is I remember meeting with my coach at the beginning of this year, and he was like, what is your goal? Like, is it to make this much money? And I was like, yeah, I have that vision, of course. And we're always trying to grow, but that didn't mean as much to me as I wanted to master something that I feel like I was not there yet. And I definitely felt like, I mean, I photographed over, I think it was 350 houses last year. And it was really crazy how
No
much,
way.
Yeah, it was amazing how many houses we photographed within the year of 2024. And I felt like you do something long enough, you get good at it. And so photos, my brain is so wired to just like, we could have a full conversation and we're still nailing the shot. No matter what, throughout the house. But video, I guess that's my big theme of this year of 2025 is that I feel like video will really create results. And I'm passionate about that because I've seen it. Like I already have had agents like, this house just, is already pending in 2 days because of the video that we did.
Yeah.
And that's like the best thing.
Oh,
so
cool.
To wrap around, I do have a goal, and that's to master video. And that's really to devote time and energy to those who are already mastering it and to learn from the greats. And then my dream is to film something that's within the $12 million bracket or more. And I've already found a few properties that are up in areas that I'm just like, I'm willing to come up there if you would like to.
Yeah.
And it's not to be like, oh, high and mighty, I filmed something $12 million, but it's like, no, it's that house, it's the architecture, it's the camera, it's what you can film and tell a story with a home of that size. It's just so much fun.
Oh my God.
So it's like a giant playground.
Yeah.
It's just
I'm sure
playground.
like you get your, Darrow's like got his storage. I'm sure your storage on those, that would be a full card, memory card.
Usually.
Gigabyte.
Yeah, absolutely. You load up on photos takes up someone's storage, so and videos too.
Man.
So.
Well, how at that point, what would you choose? Would be they're all great, I'm sure.
Like storage drives and stuff.
Oh no, just like if you were to do the $12 million.
Oh yeah.
Like what if you like every picture was great?
That is
true. Is there a limit how many you can?
I think the MLS here limits you to 50 photos.
Okay.
So you've got it. I mean, there's days where I'll deliver 120 photos, and
sure.
it's like, good luck.
They're all great.
Yeah,
you get to choose.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just like bigger.
Which
homes.
ones are the best?
There's always like what you call like your foundational photos. Really, what you're trying to do is show off what matters most first. Some people don't really, and that's what I always will tell agents and people who are selling their homes is make what is unique about your property stand out. If you've got a beautiful pool, let's turn on all the lights. Let's make it look great. Or if you've got a phenomenal kitchen, like present that in its best light so that when someone comes in, what you're proud and amazed by this property, they're going to be proud and amazed by. So I always am like, what matters most in a property. I focus on that foundational shots first, and then we play and get a little more.
I like that. See, because my house, it's a work of itself. It just we're working on it as we're living in it, and we've taken a little bit of time off just because it's just timing. But the reason why I love my house is my yard and my space and my lot size, but that's neat though that. If you go into maybe the seller and be like, what's your favorite part or why did you buy this house, and being able to market or promote like that.
Yeah, it's a huge focus.
That's
and
cool.
I try to help agents and sellers feel like they can create that skill of seeing it by meeting with me enough. We do enough shoots where it's like, they'll come to me like, okay, Ketch, I see exactly what I want to accomplish. Like this house has all of these bold statements that stand out to me. And so can you come in and just highlight them in a way that really stands out? And then you get results. I mean, people come and they'll buy properties if it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
If it's worth it. Like, I mean, there's always that list.
Yep.
That's like, oh yeah, it has to have this and this and this and this. But I feel like first time home buyers, that's one of those things where you got to get it when you have it.
That is
find
true.
it, if you want to fix it up, a fixer upper or not. But I just like that yours is so versatile. Yeah. I don't know. I'd be so lost because I'd be like, where to go in that direction? You have so many opportunities.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
not just like one path.
And that can play a lot on your mental stress of like Especially when someone's like, oh, my house is 10,000 square feet. And you're like, that's a lot of house, you know, and I only have a certain amount of hours to acquire all this footage. But you do it long enough and you're like, okay, you get to the property and you're like, your brain's just going.
Yeah.
And so.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, there's a lot that helps to help people get houses.
Well, Dara, I've taken probably a good chunk of your time. We can we could keep going, but I want to say thank you for coming on here.
Yeah.
Being able to promote. Let's embark on your goal of the video thing. Hire him. But thank you. We cheers normally at the end of every episode. Ketch,
I like it.
Thank you for coming on here. Really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having me. Cheers.
Did you see that?
No, I mean, what happened?
I hit the.
Oh, no.
She
I
hit
went
the
to
mic.
cheers.
But that's kind of been the theme of this podcast, so it's like, it's okay, just let it roll.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Well,
That was fun. Whoa.
my ears.